So, hello guys.
Hi, babe. You okay?
I'm good. Welcome back to Pigmented Taboo. So today we have a very special guest. We're very excited for this guest, and I actually have the first question for him. So we're gonna call him. Am I saying that before?
The plug. Yeah.
We're gonna call him the plug for privacy and to maintain his
Anonymity.
Discretion.
discretion. Yeah, for discretion. But yeah, so hey plug, you are about to sit here with your face covered,
Yes.
um, with the ballet, and your voice is going to be altered. So why do you feel, as one of the most successful black queer businessmen in London, that you still need to do this?
Sorry to cut in. This is the owner of Dlplug.
Yeah.
I am.
Little applause.
You're not the owner of Dlplug.
AKA Danny with the D. That is me. Yeah.
So Danny with the D, owner of Dlplug.
Exactly. So yeah, like you're one of the biggest events, like sex positive events in London. Not only in London, actually in the UK, because we was talking about you have branches in Birmingham and
Yes,
Manchester.
yes.
So why in 2026 do you feel the need to still maintain an anonymous persona?
Because outside of the community, I'm down low.
So despite you having such a big, but does download still count when? So goes into our next question actually.
Okay, come on, gatekeeper.
So you've chosen to remain on the down low while building one of London's biggest queer brands, right? Has living a double life become exhausting, or do you think it's just the price you have to pay?
It's definitely not exhausting. It's not the price I have to pay. I could be open about who I am in all different circles, but I like having multiple facets to my life, and I don't feel like each element of my life has to kind of cross paths.
I agree with that. Absolutely, I can kind of relate to that in certain aspects.
Yeah, the people from my Bible studies group doesn't have to know like what goes on in my personal life.
Absolutely agreed.
Do you still go to Bible study?
Only on Sundays.
So you coming straight from Bible studies?
No, I'm only playing. I don't go to Bible studies.
Yeah, I feel like the questions are making it feel kind of rigid. Should we just fuck the questions? It's just because we never do questions. Sorry, we never do questions.
No, but I'm gonna keep in mind. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not flowing the way we usually flow.
yeah, let's
Okay,
just relax.
okay.
We're just a little bit scared. This is the first time we've interviewed, and you're not a bad man. So.
Literally.
flow, mama, flow.
I mean, what made you start Dlplug? Did you see like a gap in the?
Yeah, it was a gap in the market. It was multiple things. There was a gap in the market for sure. I remember going to a sex positive event, and generally in LGBTQ spaces, as a black guy, you're the minority, right? So I remember going to a sex positive event, and sometimes I'd go and I'd be in high demand, and then other times I'd go, I wouldn't be in such high demand. And the attitudes generally towards me they weren't the most welcoming at all times, right? So that's one aspect of it. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 2 decades, yeah. So I married that up, being an entrepreneur, with the fact that I said, well, I can probably do this myself. Like going to those events, seeing how it was run, I was thinking I could probably do this myself. And if I did it myself, then we would be in charge, and everything would be on our terms. So let's give this a go. So we gave it a go. We flipped the script, and
When you say you weren't in demand, do you mean like people were moving to you, you weren't getting approached, or what do you mean like you weren't in demand?
when you go to those events, there's an obvious hierarchy in any sex positive space, right? Yeah. For lack of better term, it's a market. So you got buyers and you got sellers, you know, and you can see what people are, where the demand is. Yes. You can see what people are like moving towards. You can see who's getting moved to, and you can see why they're getting moved to, you know, or you can at least make assumptions as to why they're getting moved to. So you aren't in demand. It's like people are not coming here to buy what you're selling.
Do you feel like when you were in demand, people were looking for a particular thing? Because I know with black men, there's like a general consensus that the thing we're known for is our penises. Yeah. So like, was it when you were in demand? Was it like, oh yeah, shit, BBC?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, that wasn't problematic to me. You know, that wasn't problematic to me because it was a sex positive event and I'm going there to have sex as a top. So
Fair enough.
you know, I'd be a bit in trouble if everybody wanted to
Get
top me.
someone else.
You know what I mean? As a top, I'd be in trouble.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
So also like Dlplug has done a great job at marketing itself as black only, even though it's not black only.
Correct.
I've personally had people message me asking me, "Oh, have you heard of this event? Am I allowed to go?" And it was mainly from other ethnicities. Many times where they've said, "Oh, am I welcome there?" And I always have to explain to them, "Well, it's not actually black only. Like it's actually everyone is welcome." So how have you managed to kind of have this strong image of it being black only to the point where people are scared to not to come if they're not black?
In marketing, what's understood doesn't need to be said, right? So we make it explicit who our target audience is. However, at the same time, we always want to be an inclusive event, right? So our target audience is mainly black guys, right? Black guys who maybe have an alternative culture to the mainstream LGBTQ culture, so maybe more masculine black guys. That's the target audience. But that doesn't mean that other people are not welcome to come. So what we tend to do in majority of our marketing assets, we tend to kind of represent who our target audience is. And we keep the language kind of
Literal.
literal. We keep the language literal, we keep it simple, and we keep it the tone like relatable to that audience.
Like if you know, you know.
If you know, you know, right? And so people who are not that target audience, they then second guess and question whether or not this is for them. Because what's understood doesn't need to be said. You can see who our target audience is. But at the same time, we're an inclusive event and everybody is welcome.
Yeah. I think because every time we've been there, we've seen other races. Like it hasn't just been black men, so it's always been
Yeah, and that is literally the only event that is like that in London.
like mostly black men, and then of course,
The only event that actually managed to have that. So
While still being inclusive.
while still being
Yeah, while still
absolutely,
being inclusive. Yeah.
because even like when you go to Bootylicious, even at Bootylicious, I feel like it is marketed towards black people. It's also very POC. Like there's a lot of different ethnicities or different so it's very But like Dlplug is the only one I know like it's mostly black people, and then you have a few other races.
and that is different. When I say the only event, I mean the only sex positive event as well. Because obviously there are normal events that like cater towards mainly black people, but the only sex positive events that you can kind of compare to, you know, like roast, and you know, it is Dlplug.
What helps with that is authenticity as well. So you can go to other events, and it's marketed towards POC, as you say, people of color. But when you go there, maybe the people in charge of curating the event, they don't really understand the nuances of black people specifically. So it's not as authentic. When you come to Plug, if you're going to hear Amapiano and Afrobeats, it's authentic. Do you know? The Mike's man is a South African. You know, the DJ is a Jamaican. The person running the event is a black guy. So the authenticity can't lie, you know?
What do you think has been like your biggest pushback when starting the event? Because of course it's a sex positive event, but again also it being majority black. Have you had issues like how did you get like a permanent venue, for example? Because I think you're the only event that has like a permanent venue apart from Booty, of course, a permanent venue in London as a black event. Like how did you manage to get that space? Was it difficult? Was it easy? Like what was the process like?
Networking is really important, right? First and foremost, you have to understand the society that we live in. And in the society that we live in, unfortunately, we're the minority, right? So therefore, you have to be able to network with the majority, right? So the person that owns our space is a white gay guy, right? And they are kind enough, the team at the bunker, to welcome us and to help. They helped us to grow. So if you're not willing to kind of network, socialize, and understand other people, then it wouldn't be possible for us as Dlplug to have a permanent venue. Like if I was just like, okay, I want to do a segregated event just for black people, and I want it to be in a black-owned space. Majority of the black-owned venues in the UK, unfortunately, they're run by people who just wouldn't condone.
Homophobic.
They're homophobic, yeah. Let's call a spade a spade. They're homophobic. Yeah. So at the same time, you have to be willing to work with people in your community and people who may be of a different culture to you. Yeah. Our biggest challenge has been our own people. We've had challenges with our own people. We'll go into that. And another challenge that we have is with people that own the venues. So our own people, the biggest challenge that we have with our own people is that they tend to be quite cheap.
So when you say our own people, like black people.
Yeah, but not necessarily just black people, because as I said, the event is not just for black people. Like there's many different kind of there's many different races in our ethnicity and our culture. You know, not just black people, right? So that's why I don't like to say just black people or white people. You know, our own people. So in terms of the target audience, they tend to be quite cheap. Even though we are grateful for the support that we've received over the years, and some of our following, they're formidable. No matter what happens, they support Dlplug and they spread the word about Dlplug. So, you know, I can't fault them. But on the flip side of that, people don't like to spend money. And if you don't like to spend money, you can't sustain a business. Do you know what I mean? So in terms of getting other venues, if our following is not willing to pay higher prices, then it's not possible for us to get new venues and stuff like that. And then, as I said, on the flip side of that, some venues, they don't want to work with us. It seems evident. And how they get around that, they just price us out.
Yeah, I have heard. I think I had a friend that said to me that he was business partner with someone else. But do you think your race come into place in that? Because they shared with me that basically they went in for a specific venue. I'm not gonna say the name, and so a black person went in for a specific venue. They said that that day was not available, because the event that they presented to them was R&B. And then when his business partner went, who happened to be white, he was like, oh, he gave him a great quote, and that was actually cheaper than what the quote would have been if there wasn't availability for the black person. So is that like
Do I think the race plays a part? Potentially, I think culture plays a part and ethnicity plays a part, right? So I feel like some venues, especially the venues that allow LGBTQ plus events, they don't want some cultures in their venue because they don't want their venue to get labeled as a venue that holds a particular type of event, right? So you go in there and you say, oh, listen, we're going to play dancehall, we're going to play Afrobeats, and we're going to play hip hop. Automatically it conjures up ideas of, I don't know what for them. And then, you know, they come up with a smart way to kind of tell you no, because they're not going to tell you no off the bat. It's because of your ethnicity or whatever the case may be. But, you know, if you go in there and you say, all right, listen, I want to play pop music. As a black guy, let's say that if I go in there and say, I want to play pop music and I want to play disco, I'm going to hold an event. They say, oh, it conjures up, majority of the crowd is going to be, you know, of a particular demographic. And that doesn't necessarily mean white. I'm not saying a particular demographic is white. It just says like, okay, this ethnicity of people, this type of person's going to be coming to the event. So, okay, yes to that. You know?
It's interesting you mentioned the price thing because the last time we went for Rose, we didn't pay like £40 for our tickets. So it's like, do you think, I know you say, when you said like our people, you're talking about like all cultures, all ethnicity, like gay people in general. But like, why do you think people are willing to pay £40 for Rose, but they're not willing to pay £40 for Dlplug?
That's interesting.
Because it's like the same kind of.
People pay £50 for Dlplug exclusive. So, you know, people do pay 50 plus pounds for that. But that's not the majority of people who attend Dlplug. I think that Dlplug is kind of seen as an afters. Do you know what I mean by afters? It's kind of not, for a lot of people, not seen as the main event. It's not seen as a mainstream thing for a lot of people. And also Dlplug is like a dirty little secret.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like.
Is that how you like it though? Do you want it to be like people's kind of like, you know, yeah, quiet on the creek kind of thing?
100%. You know, it's within the name. You know, and that might be counterintuitive because we're on a podcast talking about it, but it's within the name. You know, Dlplug. We want to keep things on the down low.
yeah, and your identity stays anonymous anyway, so nothing really goes against that.
Exactly. You know, you can pay cash at the door. By the way.
So, Mr. Dlplug, let's get to the juice.
Let me fix my chair, actually. Yeah.
Did you find out that you were interested Same sex.
When did I find?
Did you when did you start expressing?
Yeah, because that's there's probably two different parts to that question. When did I start to become curious?
Mm-hmm.
And when did I actually act on those kind of impulses, right? Like that curiosity. So I became curious more than likely around the age of 18, 19. I started to watch some gay porn. That's the first time I could potentially say no, that okay, this is turning me on. You know what I mean? I like this. This is hot. And then the first time I acted on any impulse in terms of meeting somebody, that would have been at the age of about 20, 21.
Wow.
Probably like 2-3 years after the
fact. A
fact.
while to be like, okay, I'm actually ready.
Research.
But I mean, at the time, I was still just like dabbling. I wasn't, I was just getting head, and then that way I could reconcile to.
Start with the head.
Because I'm not gay if I get head. It doesn't count.
Like if a guy sucks your dick, you're not gay.
Yeah.
If you don't kiss him, you're not gay.
That always starts with the head. Interesting.
And then that, let's say, shit escalated quickly.
Pun intended.
Indeed, a few encounters in, and then head moves to, do you want to try this?
Was it the same person?
Oh no. Different people.
Was this on Grind Out on in you go football and the next thing the locker room?
Let's backtrack actually. So it started off with gay porn, and then I think I started to explore on online chat rooms.
Yes, this is before my time, but I know it was really big.
Yeah, we started to explore on online chat rooms. You know what I mean? That's the first time Danny with a D first showed himself to hello world.
Wait, Danny with a D.
Yeah, because you can't spell Danny without a D.
Okay, so is this like a double entendre, like with the D?
Well, I don't get it.
110%.
With the D.
Danny with a D. Oh, with the oh.
Okay, Daddy.
Guys, himber. Sorry.
Okay.
So we log onto an online chat room, and then we type the name Danny Blue. There we go. And the character's born like how many years ago now? A few years ago. We're not going to give away the age. A few years ago. Good. A few years ago. And then speaking in those online chat rooms, so you've got like video cam. So you're doing like camming, right? Live play. And then somebody says to me, oh, they're just going to meet their Grindr link or something like that. And I said, what's Grindr? Like we're playing together, like we're wanking together online. And he says to me, like, we're just going to meet my Grindr link.
And these are others that are like you, like down low.
No, we didn't care to kind of delve into all of that. We're just playing online. I don't know if the person was down low, they was outly gay. Didn't interest me at the time, right? So I'm gonna meet, because we're speaking online, what's hot, and sometimes you log into those chat rooms and you end up speaking to like the same people. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna meet my Grindr link. I said, what's that? What's Grindr? And they quickly said it's an app, but they left me. They ghosted me after that. And then they came back the next day, and I said thanks, and I ghosted them after that because I found Grindr, and that was like Pandora's box for me.
Wow.
So you like, did you meet anyone that was like super like, not down low, but someone that like rejected the whole idea of like being gay, super like straight, and then the next thing they were in your house like your dick?
Oh yeah. I've met multiple people like that. Yeah, I've met multiple people like that, but that within itself is not oxymoron. Like, it's not an oxymoron that someone can be super deal and like sucking dick or like getting fucked. So that to me is like, yeah, that's standard. That's the whole concept of being closeted homosexual.
It kind of even ties into like another question. It's like, I know you see a lot of black men that come into the doors of Dlplug. Has there been anyone that you've seen and you were surprised they were there? Like, has anything like damn, I wouldn't expect you to be here. Have you had anyone that you knew, like in real life, walk in? Has that ever
Like a pastor.
Like a pastor. He loves pasta.
I do. They love me back.
I told you, Bible studies is where it's at. That's a joke. That is a joke. Let's clear that up. That's a joke. Nah, there's been nobody that's surprised me. Maybe because of my own journey, and before Dlplug, you know, I was meeting up with a lot of DL people, so there's been nobody that's really surprised me at all.
Any celebs?
Yeah, we've had quite a few celebrities.
Footballers?
He can't tell.
Discretion is my business, you know. We've had quite a few celebrities. We've had quite a few.
I'm guessing for like the exclusive events.
No, you get people coming to the regular one that are, you know, celebrities in their own right. The exclusive events, of course, you get more people with like a following online, but even the regular events, you get people that.
We need to get a ticket to the exclusive one.
Yeah, maybe we can work out a deal.
You know, work our way up.
We're open up positions of, you know, we got fluffer positions.
When you
What's that?
gotta make it hard.
There we go. You've done that before.
I can do that.
I can volunteer.
But I had a question. So do you believe that only masculine guys entice DL guys, or do you believe feminine guys entice DL guys more? Like, do they find more curiosity in like a femme guy, or like more like you personally as a DL guy? What do you think? Like,
So you're talking about generally, right? So I have seen the trend change over the past decade. Like when I was first, you know, starting out in kind of like the DL lifestyle, there was a huge trend in mass for mass. Do you know what I mean? Most DL guys wanted other masculine acting men. But I would say in the past 5 years or so, even on Grindr, you know, I can't tell you the last time I've entertained Grindr, but even on Grindr, a lot of the DL and mass guys are
Femboys.
they're into like femboys, twinks, just more feminine energy in general. So it's changed. I can't tell you that more DL guys are into mass guys or femme guys. I'm saying the trend has definitely changed. I think now it will be skewed towards more feminine. They're attracted to more feminine energy.
Do you think they kind of use that to kind of like placate themselves even more? Like, okay, I'm DL, I'm fucking a femboy, so maybe I'm not actually that gay. Do you get what I mean? Because like
100%.
Yeah.
100% for some people, they'll be able to reconcile it in their brain like that, you know? Like, or you can go as far as to say cross-dressers, you know? Like it's still someone that identifies as a male, but they're a cross-dresser. And because they're dressed as like a woman, it's not that gay. You know, because there's still feminine energy present in the interaction. Yeah.
Why do you think a lot of black men that have sex with men, they don't label themselves as like bisexual or gay? Like they don't put a label. It's just like, I'm just, like you said, just getting head. Why do you think that is? Like for you, for example,
Yeah.
first realized what you were into, did you put a label on it? Or was it just like,
Definitely not. Because the moment you put a label on it is the moment that you have to accept who you are. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to accept being a homo. No homo. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you?
That homo shit needs to stop.
No homo. We're gonna speak to them. Don't worry. I'll speak to them. I've got a direct line with the DL guys, so I'll speak to them for you.
Yes, but that's one thing that I really like about your event is it seems like a safe space for everyone, and I think that's really unique because there's a lot of, we were even talking about in the last episode, and someone had an issue with that, but that your event does open up to everyone. DL opens up to also gay guys, femme guys, like people come there like really dressed up and make it like an actual motive, and I think that's really unique in London, where everyone just feels really safe in the space and everyone respects everyone's decision to come as they are.
And that's why it's the most successful sex positive business.
Kojo, we thank you. I would go as far as to say Dlplug is one of, if not the most successful black-owned LGBTQ event in Europe.
Yes.
You are, and I can tell you.
No, it's true. It's true.
You have to understand that we're the most consistent and most frequent
yes,
black-owned LGBTQ event right?
Every Thursday of the beginning of the month, by the way.
Kojo knows the schedule.
Just on it. He's a regular.
Love Kojo. But yeah, like, so we're the most consistent, regardless if it's a holiday, regardless if there's a big event going on or whatever, you can always rely on Dlplug to be holding an event. And it's been the case for the past 7 years, right? Sometimes multiple events in a month. And Dlplug's always packed.
Because like you said, it's the afters, isn't it?
It's the afters.
And I like that kind of angle.
So it's not just, yes, we're a sex positive event, but as I said, I'd go as far as to say we're the most successful LGBTQ black owned event in Europe because we're the most frequent, most consistent for the past 7 years. It's the truth. But we're more than an event, you know, we're a cultural brand. Yeah.
One thing I never, when I first heard about Dlplug, it was because I was speaking to a friend when I first went, and it was like there's a bit of a, it's not a stigma, but like I feel like when I moved to London, I realized a lot of black London men, gay men, they look at sex from a different lens. Like
100%.
And fucked, everyone is fucking, but they want to pretend like they don't. Everyone is an auntie. Everyone, like, you go to clubs, you don't want, like, so
Everybody's moving stuff.
exactly.
Yeah,
But then you hear stuff and you experience stuff. You're like, okay, wait, wasn't you just, you know what I mean?
And I think people even, sorry to cut you, people even used to use Dlplug as a kind of like got you moment, or like we're gonna catch you in Dlplug, like kind of ridicule the event, but then you do go to Dlplug.
Percent, yeah. I would say Dlplug's had a huge cultural impact in that sense, in terms of a lot of the discourse online. Dlplug is the butt of the joke. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But it's cool. I mean, we're
Do you like I don't like it. Like, I feel like we need to move past, especially as black gay men, we need to realize that we're able to be sexually free.
you know, it's cool because things start off as a joke, innit? And the truth is hidden in jest. Do you know what I mean?
Critical because they still pay the money to
So
go.
go there,
But and
ducking because you saw them.
the thing is, it's kind of like when you are the most popular and the most known, people are gonna reference you in whatever term. So
We've grown to accept that. You know, initially that could have been somewhat infuriating, but now we've grown to accept it and we embrace it. You know, as long as we're still influencing some of the discourse online, we're happy to be mentioned. Just ensure that you at us at Dlplug London on all socials when you're referencing us or inferring any joke about us. You know, we're here for it though.
I love that.
Yeah. A lot of the success of Dlplug has stemmed from the fact that people can come in a mask, so people can live out their fantasies with some anonymity. You know what I mean? They can their identity is kind of hidden, if you will. So yes, people have a double standard where they try to uphold a certain image of themselves in certain circles, and then when they come to Dlplug, they don a mask and then they can get their freak on. But that's what we're here for.
It's so funny because yes, the mask hides, but like if you know someone, you know someone. Like I've seen people in masks, I'm like, girl, bye. Like, what are you doing? I know who you are, but I get it. Like it's not he's not obviously not there for me. He's there for people that don't know who he is.
Absolutely. And yeah, and there's also this misconception that because I was just talking about your event to someone, because again, I don't know how I became a spokesperson for your event. People
I feel
always
like we all are.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
always ask me how the event is, and there's a misconception that they must be naked to come to Dlplug. And I was like, oh, you'll be surprised. There's hardly anyone naked. I even said, I go as far as saying I'm probably the only one that's in a thong in there. Like, there's like, you can just chill at the bar.
So, and you know, I'm gonna go against my business model now. I'm gonna not have discretion and talk Kojo's business. Kojo's always skin out, and we love that. We love that for Kojo, because Kojo encourages other people to be more body positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, absolutely. Listen, my business is out there. But yeah, but you can literally be fully clothed in a puffer jacket and still get your freak on.
And you can fall in love as well.
Yeah, I've seen it happen. You fall in love?
No.
I was like, girl, when?
Like, someone fell in love with me.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
And it was, yeah. So I mean, like, listen, I feel like it's a space where you just feel so like liberated, and I think it's really nice as well, because Yeah, like we didn't fall in love.
I mean, you even brought that up because I met someone. I met someone there.
Even have bonding time with your friends.
Yeah, period. I met someone at Dlplug once, and let me finish my story. Okay. I met someone at Dlplug, and then he made a comment, and he was like, "Oh, you're trying to fall in love in the club," and I was like, "Where else am I supposed to meet you?" Do you get what I mean? And I feel like Dlplug is really good because, as you said, it's a space for Black men to come and be safe. But then it's also like, where else do you meet people? Because like, if I see a fine guy on the street, it's hard for me to. I've walked up to guys before, but like most times you don't know, especially with my type. Like you can't tell if my type is straight or gay. Do you get what I mean? So like it's harder for me. But like in Dlplug, I know what you are. Do you get what I mean?
This is the important thing about Dlplug, right? Let's get across that Dlplug is you don't have to come to Dlplug and have adult fun. You can come to Dlplug, and a lot of people, a high proportion of people, come to Dlplug just to vibe, as Wendy says. They come on the dance floor, shake their ass, or they come to the bar area to chill, or even voyeurism. They just come to just watch what other people are doing, and all of the above, that's okay at Dlplug. You know, Dlplug has created a third space for our community. You know what I mean? Which is important. That's what we need. You know, we need spaces where people can come and socialize and be their unapologetic self. You know, uninhibited, and that's what Dlplug has created. So that's important. Secondly, what we're trying to do is create some type of way to solve the problem what you just highlighted, so that people can identify each other on the street. You know, and that's going to be through like Dlplug branded merch.
Oh, cute. So you're gonna have like a logo.
We have a logo, so everybody knows the logo.
So what are you guys gonna do? Like, is it gonna be t-shirts? Is it gonna be intimate stuff? It's gonna be Bali's. Bali makes sense for Dlplug.
No, but what it is similar to what Mustafa was just saying, is that you're in the gym, right? And it's hard for us as Black gay guys, especially if you're more masculine presenting, to work out who else is on the same shit that I'm on. You know what I mean? So we started off with like wristbands. You know, like the wristbands you would get like, what would Jesus do? But you're not looking for that wristband. You're looking for the wristband with the Dlplug logo on it. If you look and you see somebody with that Dlplug logo on the wristband, then you know that they're part of the community.
I love that.
So in terms of merchandise and stuff, we'll start off with simple things like socks. Ain't nobody necessarily want a whole t-shirt advertising Dlplug on it. You can see the insignia on the kind of the waistband of the boxers or the top of the socks. So it's like a subtle cue in public spaces that, okay, yeah, this person's a part of my community.
See, I like the socks one because you could be like in the office and then you just like, and you just look at them and be like, you see it?
Like, what is it? Friends of Dorothy. They used to have that little code language back in the day.
100%. We're trying to create a code, subtle codes. And
We were like, oh, socks. I'm in the gym.
Waistband.
gonna be kind of like a little if you know type of thing, like secret society, and it maintains some type of discretion, you know. So you know, because for some people that's important. You know?
So do you think that, because I view being DL as a phase that the goal is to eventually live your life as your true self, but obviously all these things that you're doing to progress the brand are kind of like suggesting that this is a forever lifestyle. So do you think that it should be, not that it should be, but how do you feel about it being a forever lifestyle? Because that's very
I think and I think even that topic is pointed. I think we have to understand that everybody is not going to have the same experience, and everybody doesn't want to have the same experience, right? So some people want to be out and out, openly proud to be gay, let's say, for example. And there's some people that have accepted that they're gay, but for whatever reason, cultural, whatever's going on with them, they want to be more discreet about their sexuality, right? So they're not necessarily lying to everybody at home, but they don't want everybody that meets them on the street, their first interaction with them is that, okay, you're a gay person, you know, because that also kind of dictates how people deal with you.
Yes.
Because as you got to understand, as Black men, we're already a minority, and as a gay Black guy, you're a double minority. And so people start to deal with you a certain way. If they say, "Oh, you're gay and you're black," okay, now I've already got an idea in my head of how to deal with you, or how to take you. So it's not so much a case of not continuing to be DL or DL lifestyle. It's more a case of allowing some people to continue to be discreet about their sexuality while still being a part of the community. You know what I mean?
Like that.
I like that answer, because I always wondered, like, how do you? But then the same way, probably they wonder, how do we live so freely? Like, are you not?
And you guys should be able to live freely. You know what I mean? And people who are discreet about their sexuality should also be able to. And us as a community should just support and understand even each other.
Yeah, 100%. I think what really frustrates me the most about the DL community is that I believe that if more people were to openly come out, there'll be less stigma. Because I'm from Nigeria and I know a lot of Nigerian celebrities who are DL. And in my head, I'm like, if all of you came out, not all of you are going to get backlash. Like it just shows like there's more of us in the world. So I feel like even with athletes, like we know, like there's thousands of athletes. You're trying to tell me all the athletes are straight. All the footballers during the World Cup, there's someone there who likes men. And I feel like if you stand up and you decide to be that voice, it would help the cause.
Representation is important, and you have a lot of openly gay people who are representing for the minorities and the double minorities. But also, what we have to do as a community is create kind of a pipeline for those people who have not quite yet accepted who they are, or able to be their unapologetic self. To have spaces or systems in place where they can still kind of explore themselves and still be a part of the community. Because I've seen a pipeline at Dlplug where people, the first time they enter, they come in a balaclava, hooded up, pay cash only, and then they start to come to a few events. Eventually, they're paying on card. Eventually they're not coming with a balaclava. Eventually they stop coming to Plug. I don't see them for a couple months, and then I see them 8 months later, and they're like, "Oh, I made so much friends at Plug, and I've now been introduced to different events in the community," and that's beautiful, because it was like kind of their first contact with the community, the first place they could come and explore without feeling as though their discretion is going to be compromised. So yes, representation is important, but also safe spaces for people who are closeted, because we as black men understand the cultural nuances about around being homosexuals. You know what I mean? So we have to support our brothers that are still kind of potentially struggling with their sexuality and accepting themselves.
Why do you think? I mean, I know the answer, but I want to hear. Well, I think I know the answer, but I want to hear from you. Why do you think it's easier for other races, especially white men, to live in their truth compared to us black men? Because I don't think there's an event for closeted white men. Like I've not heard of any freak parties for closeted white men.
We get a lot of closeted white men. Not all DL guys are black. We get a lot of you have to understand when you're speaking about it being easier for some white guys to come out as being gay. That's white guys that live in Western cultures in the first world, or come from Western cultures. When you're talking about white guys that come from the second world, i.e. Eastern Europe, they go through the same struggles and hardships as people, let's say from the Caribbean or Africa and stuff like
Even
that.
Romania, so I have a friend that he's still not out. It's extremely religious, and you can't come out.
A lot of it stems from in the third world. It stems from colonialism, and a lot of it in the second world, i.e. Eastern Europe or what have you, stems from religion. It all comes down to religion and ideology, whether it's the third world or the second world. So it's not just white guys have it easier coming out. You got DL white guys, you got a lot of DL Russians, DL Eastern Europeans. It's easier if your family or your loved ones, it doesn't necessarily have to be your family, are more Western minded, because there's been a huge push in Western society to accept different sexualities and stuff like that, and there hasn't been such a big push in other societies.
Which is ironic, because the West is the one that kind of told us not to. Yeah, and like now they're like, yeah.
But thank you.
Oh, thank you guys.
We are literally so honored for having you here today. Like, honestly, thank you for taking the time out to come and join us for this very needed conversation, because I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to DL culture and DL men, especially what you just said about not all DL men are black men.
Yeah,
You know?
and I think it's nice as well that you say like you open the space for people to eventually start to come to terms with their sexuality to the point where in the real world they'll eventually be like, you know what, maybe I can.
But at the same time, we're still providing the guide rails for those people who do not necessarily want to be openly out and out gay.
But I think it's nice to have that space where people can start to actually grow into their skin, which is really nice.
Okay, so as this episode's coming to an end, I'm gonna read this, guys, because I'm not gonna remember all of it, right? So, as woke is clearly now dead, Black Pride has lost all his sponsors, and not only Black Pride but other just LGBT events in general. So there was no Black Pride this year. But I still think that we need to build for ourselves. And therefore, as Pigmented Taboo, we have joined in forces with Dlplug and Juice London to create our own Black Circuit party in London. And if you made it this far in the video, we're gonna put it in the screen, but you're gonna get a £10 discount code. That's gonna be £10 off the ticket. And yeah, so Pigmented Juice is coming in September.
The darker the berry, the darker the berry.
Yes, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Get your dicks up, people.
Yeah, the dress code is Sneaky Link, Quiet on a Creek, Leather Kink, Sporty Sleek. So bring.
Or if you want to come, like whatever you want to
Or
come
just
in,
whatever,
but
like,
just
you know.
make sure you're
We're
good.
gonna have some flyers. We're gonna have some flyers soon, so you have like a vibe.
We are going to have a zone for the Africans that wanna,
100%.
have
It
fun.
definitely won't be quiet on that creek.
Yeah. And for the people that wanna watch, just wanna in that space. But if you wanna just dance, listen, just bring yourself and dance.
Please don't come into the space trying to watch. If you're gonna come into space, get active.
Either you dancing or you fucking. Like, don't stand on the wall.
Minimal phone use, like just get to know, like the plug said, like he built this community where there's people that now made friends, long life friends that now expanded, like to go to different events and stuff. So use, like, whenever there's these events, I feel like people should use them more to socialize, because then you go home and you're like, oh, I don't have no friends, but what, you went to an event, you didn't speak to anyone.
Very good point, because you go to these events and people are like clicky. It's really clicky.
Yeah, so be
Yeah.
open.
But I'm
And you
looking
can
forward
even go
to
by
it.
yourself.
I think the collaboration is going to inspire people to mix with different groups.
100%. Because
Because
we
we're
all
gonna
bring
be-
different vibes, and our fan bases bring different vibes. as
Juice
well.
has got like a mainstream vibe. The Dlplug's obviously got the Dlplug vibe, and Pigmented Taboo. Yeah. It's got kind of like an alternative queer
On
vibe.
board. And to anyone that's coming, you do not feel like you need to be in a group to come to an event. You can come by yourself and make friends. I've done that so many times.
Yeah, come on the one man's, man. It's always good. Yeah.
Make friends or make a man. Literally, get yourself a man.
So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And this is Pigmented Taboo, where we
Speak your thoughts.
Thank